Did they fall from heaven?
Did they fall from heaven? Did demons fall from heaven? I mean, this is a question I get all the time because we think of demons as fallen angels. And you might want to sit down for this, but that is not correct. That is actually not a biblical view. And this would take a little while to unpack, but let's just sort of re-reference some things we've talked a little bit about in earlier episodes. There are 3 rebellions in Genesis 1 through 11 that concern spiritual beings and human beings and really answer the question of why the world is such a mess. Now, none of those have fallen angels being referred to as demons, but that is the way church tradition, really Christian tradition for 2 millennia, have thought about it. But if you asked a first century Jew where demons come from, they would not say, oh, they're fallen angels. Their answer would be quite different. And it would go back to the second rebellion of the 3 in Genesis 1 through 11. And that is the Genesis 6 episode, the sons of God, the daughters of men, the weird nephilim stuff. All Jewish tradition, and it gets this from tiny little passages, sort of hints in the Old Testament. All Jewish traditions believed that demons were the disembodied spirits of dead nephilim. That is, the products of Genesis 6, the sons of God and the daughters of men. The Nephilim, who, as time went on, became referred to by other names because they sort of perpetuated themselves. Anakim, Rephaim, some of these terms. When you killed one, their spirit went somewhere. And these are the offspring, if you will, of the sons of God and the daughters of men episode. And their spirits show up in passages like Isaiah 14, Ezekiel 32, in Sheol, in the underworld, in hell. And so this is why ancient Judaism believed very strongly, very uniformly as well, that demons were disembodied spirits of the dead Nephilim, the giant clans would be another way to refer to them. And so that is actually their point of origin. Now, church history lost that very quickly. They lost that tradition because even after a century, you don't have church fathers who can read Hebrew. They have divorced themselves from a Jewish context because we're the church now. We're predominantly Gentile. And so they very quickly lose the tradition. They lose the knowledge of going back into some of these Old Testament passages and thinking about them. They lose the original context for Genesis 6 as well. But up until the first few centuries AD, everybody would have answered the question the same way. But early church tradition lost it, and so we have inherited this idea that demons are fallen angels, when there's no passage in Scripture that ever says that.